So that's the things that are happening in Israel right now with the captors and the captives and the bodies being returned and everything is strangely or coincidentally paralleling the Bible story that our congregation is studying. It's Samuel. And right now we're in 2 Samuel, and the story is about David's rise to become king of Israel and the interactions between him and various leaders in his area. uh, his own king tries or wants to kill him, tries to kill him, and yet he will not be disloyal because he understands that king Saul was anointed by a prophet as the king of Israel, and so he has to respect the office as well as the person. And so there are a couple of times in the stories where a messenger will come up to David, and one of them said, I came upon Saul. He'd fallen on his sword. He asked me to kill him. And so I went ahead and did that because the enemy was coming and he didn't want to fall into their hands. And here I am to tell you that your king is dead. And David, instead of this guy getting rewarded for it, is really angry with him and says, who are you? You're a pagan. You're a non-believer. Who are you to come tell me about the king and that you laid hands on him? You are not to touch the king's anointed, and he has that man killed. So the second story is about another person, same sort of circumstances. There's a righteous brother, and someone kills him, even though he's David's enemy at the time. And there were like Hatfield McCoy feud things going on that level. This person comes to David and says, hey, we killed this guy just like he killed our brother. And David is furious and says, like, I had nothing against this guy. Like, we had settled the matter and we were at peace, and here you just murdered him out of the blue. And so he has those people killed as well. And it's the fact that Hamas has had the body of these children and kept them for a while, and that they lied about what they did to these children, and then to return not even the wife's body but some other woman's body in the place of the Bibas wife. It's a highly insulting thing to do, especially for the Israeli cultural beliefs, but also the Muslim cultural beliefs. You're an infidel, you're our enemy, it doesn't matter to us what we do, we don't have to tell you the truth, we don't have to keep a deal with you. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the Israelis respond to that. Because if you look at David and what he did with messengers who delivered unrighteous news to him. Also, when the king was killed or a leader in Israel was killed, the Israelites went and got the body, even if it had been mutilated or whatever, and they would bring it home and they would clean it and they would bury it with respect. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Israel as a nation responds to this insult. Because if they immediately decide to like nuke that part of the world, which I seriously doubt they would do, it's right on their border. You nuke them, you nuke yourself. I don't think that's what they do. But if they immediately just carpet bomb it, there are still bodies of dead Israelis over there. Would they be willing to risk further damage or to not get those bodies back in order to put their revenge on Hamas? It's an interesting question, I think, and I'll be watching and paying attention to how they respond, because I think on one hand they could say, nope, we're just going to keep negotiating and keep doing what we're doing right now despite the insults, because we want those bodies back so we can pay our respects. Or they may just say, talk to the families and say, are you willing for us to risk something happening to the body of your deceased loved one in order to exact our revenge? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bless you. Shalom.